You know that feeling? The one where you're just in a constant, brutal battle with your alarm clock? You drag yourself out of bed all week, and then Saturday hits, and you feel like you could just sleep forever? Well, what if I told you that whole struggle, it's not about a lack of discipline. It's actually a deep, powerful echo from our ancient past.
So let me ask you this. Are you a night owl or are you an early bird? I mean, it seems like a simple question, right? Just a personal preference. But trust me, it goes so much deeper than that.
See, you're basically caught in this epic clash between two super powerful forces. On one side, you've got your body's clock. This is a rhythm that's been shaped by like thousands and thousands of years of evolution. And on the other side, the world's clock. The 9-to-5 workday, school schedules, all that stuff. It's a pretty modern invention when you think about it. And this whole conflict, it's not just about whether you like mornings or evenings. Nope, it's all about your internal rhythm, something scientists call your chronotype. And this thing is literally wired directly into your biology. So what exactly is a chronotype? Well, put simply, it's just your body's natural preference for when it wants to sleep and when it wants to wake up. And it's influenced by a whole bunch of stuff. Your genes, your environment, even your age. The key takeaway here, it is not a choice. It's a fundamental part of who you are. Okay, so that begs the question, right? Why do these different chronotypes even exist? I mean, why aren't we all just on the exact same schedule? To figure that out, we've got to go way, way back. Back to something researchers call our ancestors' night watch. And to really see this in action, scientists went and studied the Hadza people of Tanzania. Now, these guys are modern-day hunter-gatherers, which means their lifestyle is kind of like a living, breathing window into how our earliest human ancestors might have lived, and more importantly, how they slept. And what they discovered was amazing. It gave incredible support to this theory called the Sentinel hypothesis. The idea is actually pretty simple but brilliant. For a small group of early humans to survive all the dangers of the night, it was a huge survival advantage to have different sleep patterns. It pretty much guaranteed that someone in the group was always awake, or at least sleeping very lightly, to watch out for, lions and other scary stuff. Okay, get ready for this, because the data they collected is absolutely staggering. So researchers monitored 33 Hadza individuals over 20 days, and they found that the entire camp, all 33 people, were asleep at the exact same time for a grand total of just 18 minutes. Out of 20 whole days. That means for over 99% of the time, at least one person was awake and alert. How wild is that? I mean, this just completely changes how we think about our own sleep, doesn't it? As Discover magazine puts it so well, what we seek treatment for today might just be normal behavior, a legacy handed down from our ancestors. So that restless night you had last week, maybe it wasn't a problem. Maybe it was just your inner sentinel, on duty. So on the one hand, we have this ancient protective biology. It's amazing, but today it's creating what's being called the great mismatch. It's clashing head-on with our super rigid modern schedules. And yeah, this clash actually has a name. It's called social jet lag. It's that constant feeling of misalignment between your internal body clock, your chronotype, and the social clock of your job or school. You know that feeling. It's like you're living in the wrong time zone, but in your own home. And it's the exact reason so many of us try desperately to catch up on sleep over the weekend. And you can see this gap so clearly in the data. A study of over 1,400 students showed this perfectly. On work days, they were getting an average of just 5.4 hours of sleep. But on free days, that number jumped all the way up to 7.6 hours. That difference, that 2-hour-plus gap, that is social jet lag, right there in the numbers. And look, this is not some small niche problem. The same study found that a jaw-dropping 84.6% of students were experiencing more than 2 hours of social jet lag. So if you feel this way, you are absolutely not alone in the struggle, not by a long shot. In fact, the average amount of social jet lag for these students was 4.4 hours. Let that sink in. That means, on average, their body's natural schedule was over 4 hours out of sync with their school schedule. That's literally the equivalent of flying from New York to California and then trying to function every single Monday morning. Now, this mismatch does a lot more than just make you feel tired. The really big question we have to ask is, are you getting enough of the right kind of sleep? Because, and this is important, the consequences of not getting it can be pretty serious. Okay, so it's super important to understand the difference between sleep quantity and sleep quality. Quality is easy, right? It's just the number of hours you're asleep. Most experts say adults need 7 or more. But quality, that's the real game changer. That's about getting that deep, restorative sleep where your body cycles through all the important stages, like deep sleep and REM sleep. And a chronic lack of that high-quality sleep, it is not a trivial thing. It's been linked to a higher risk of some really serious stuff: high blood pressure, heart disease, weight gain and obesity, type 2 diabetes, a weakened immune system, even depression and anxiety. So yeah, this is why it matters a lot. Okay, I know that all sounds pretty daunting, but here's the good news. Just understanding that your chronotype is a real biological thing, that's the first huge step toward taking back some control. So the question becomes, what can you actually do about it to thrive in this crazy modern world? Well, a big part of the answer lies in improving what experts call sleep hygiene, and there are 4 simple steps that recommend. First, try your best to stick to a consistent sleep schedule. Yep, even on weekends. That'll help reduce that social jet lag. Second, create a nice, relaxing bedtime routine. Third, make your bedroom a sleep sanctuary. Keep it dark, quiet, and cool. And number 4, and this is a big one for a lot of us, disconnect from all your screens for at least 30 to 60 minutes before you hit the pillow. And hey, remember, your whole day is connected. It's not just about what you do at night. As some research from UCLA points out, simple things like prioritizing a balanced breakfast, that can actually improve your energy, your mood, and how sharp you feel all day long. It's all one big system. Which really brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought. After everything we've talked about today, from our ancient ancestors standing guard in the night to our own modern-day sleep debt, you have to ask yourself, is it possible that our sleep isn't the thing that's broken? Could the real problem be the rigid 9 to 5 world we've tried to force it into?